Remains tight at Wits following yesterday's renewed violent protests. Let's cross over to Manqoba Mchunu at the university for the latest. Manqoba, is there any sign of the students continuing to protest this morning?
Well, certainly, Leanne, a much quieter scene today here at Wits University. Compared to the scenes that we saw yesterday, we saw police firing stun grenades at a small group of protesting students who are set on continuing with their protest, saying that they want the university to end the outsourcing of staff and want the staff here to be employed on a much more permanent basis by the university. Well, certainly what we are seeing today is certainly a different scene from that, a much peaceful scene here around. We've certainly seen a number of buses coming in, bringing in students who want to go back to class, and certainly a hive of activity here around the Great Hall, as well as students are heading for their lecture halls. So it certainly seems as if the situation is slowly getting back to normal, but then again we know that there's a small group of students who are still set on going on with their protests. We saw just a small group of them a few moments ago passing our crew and saying that, perhaps it's time that they go back and they start or they ignite the protest again. But at this stage it seems like they're slowly losing the momentum, as a majority of students are actually set on writing their exams. We spoke to a few of them who said that they are willing to go back to their classes, and that they're going to try by all means to sit down and write that important exam, saying they don't want to jeopardize what they have done the whole year and basically their academic progress. So certainly it seems as if most of them want to go back to class. They're saying that they're not abandoning the struggle yet. They do want the university to address the issue of outsourcing, but they believe that this can be done after the exams. So certainly at this point it doesn't seem that there's been any flare-up of protests at this stage. And also we've just heard from university management saying that there were no incidents that were reported overnight of any sort of attacks or any vandalism of property here at the university.
The incidences that happened yesterday, today we're reading that security is a lot tighter after yesterday. You talk of a small group, and reports that we're reading is that this small group were actually going from lecture hall to lecture hall, trying to disrupt some of the classes that were taking place, just to pretty much so not have varsities operating properly the way they were hoping to by today. Are these the same reports that you got, and do you think that the extra security will perhaps alleviate that today?
Well, certainly, Leanne, that's the hope here. As we spoke to university management, they're also hoping that, the security that has been brought in will try to stabilize the situation. And certainly while driving into the university this morning, we also saw police cars parked outside the main entrances, obviously trying to ensure that, people are not prevented from coming into the university. So certainly there's a lot of security personnel that are beefing up security to ensure that there is stability. But it remains to be seen yet whether the small group of those protesters will again try to strike today, but their intention is clear. They don't want to continue with classes, and certainly it seems like they are set on going on with their protest. We did receive reports that several students were intimidated yesterday and that classes were disrupted, but in a majority, most of the lectures did take place yesterday, and the university management are saying that this morning they are confident that most of the classes again will sit, and they'll be keeping a close eye to ensure that the small group of protesters do not disrupt classes today.
Now, we're also hearing that some of these protesters are actually, and I don't think that this is limited to just Wits University, I think it's through other universities as well, that they have joined in the protest with cleaning staff, again saying no outsourcing of staff. Update us on this. What's going on in on this front?
Well, Leanne, that is certainly what's going on at this stage. You see a common thread around the protests that are currently taking place at those universities that continue to protest. They're basically saying that the cleaning staff and they're saying are their parents in some instances were part of the protest against the fees, the increase in the fees, and they're saying that now it's time for them to also stand up for these cleaners to ensure that they also are treated fairly by the university. They're saying that most of them are employed by labor brokers or outsourcing, and therefore it means that they are exploited, and they want them to actually be incorporated into the university and to be fully employed by the university so that they're also entitled to more benefits, and they also basically form part of the university. So they're saying that this is a struggle they will continue to fight on behalf of those cleaners. We saw that some of the cleaners have also joined in the protest. So certainly this is a common thread going around, certainly at the universities around the country, that continue to protest.
Yeah, we're heading into news headlines, but I think one of the most devastating parts of this protest was the burning of a certain section of a bookshop at Wits University. How bad was it? I mean, from some of the photographs, you could see that it was pretty much so just a section of the bookstore. But is everything okay? I mean, it seems things really have calmed down overnight.
Well, certainly, Leanne, the destruction to property there, that fire did cause a lot of damage, and we saw really property being broken and a lot of books being destroyed. But the sense that we are getting now and the assurance that we're getting from university management is that the security here at this stage is doing their best to keep the situation calm, and that they'll really be monitoring the situation throughout the day. So there is some sort of guarantee that learning will continue today, and that there will be safety around those who are attending the lecture classes, and that they're really beefing up security to ensure that more incidents like that do not take place today.
All right, let's leave it there. Thank you so very, very much for talking to us there, Manqoba. He's out at Wits University now, just updating us on the fees must fall protest. It's still happening, but the students demanding other issues. And we're also hearing at the UCT University, students have vowed to continue supporting contract workers, calling for an end to the outsourcing of certain jobs on campus. So it's not just Wits. This is throughout the country. There's still a lot more pockets of activity happening.